Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. Hey guys, we're going to have a podversation about Ashley from the Real Housewives of Potomac and her husband, Michael. And we've talked about them once before here on this channel, but I just wanted to talk about this again briefly because on the past few episodes, their marriage has been the topic of conversation. And it seems like almost every season, their marriage is the topic of conversation at some point in time. But on this most recent season and on the last few episodes, there were some discussions where Candace and Giselle brought some information to Ashley because it was revealed that her husband was busted, possibly with another woman, possibly somebody that he may have paid for the favor of their time, if you kind of get my drift with that. And she came out and she made some admissions of her own with regards to their marriage and saying how they have welcomed other people into the bedroom. And it was asked, was it a female or a male? Now she said female. I'm actually going to say that that might be true, but I don't really know if that was for his benefit more so than for hers, because she gives me that vibe of just being open and free to, whatever. And here's also what I wanted to say. On the very first season of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Ashley invited the women to their beach house or beach timeshare, whatever it was. And the girls went to a drag show. Now, this was a girls' trip. They're in this club, and then they look around, and her husband is in there, to their surprise. Now, most women, if they see their husband at a drag show, then they're going to question, like, what in the world is going on here? And a lot of the women didn't understand it, but Ashley said, oh, we do stuff like this all the time. But I don't believe she knew that he was going to be there. And then there's been accusations of him saying things about a man that he would love to do, with a man. And accusations of him grabbing on a man and there being possible charges against him in, previous season. Well, she came out in this season and she said that they have invited other people into the bedroom and they've had an open relationship at some point. But I'm just not really buying that. I don't believe that they have had an open relationship. I believe they have definitely worked out a silent agreement where he can just kind of do his thing. She clearly married him for the money. Let's just be real. I'm not saying it at this point they don't have any love for each other, because I do believe that people can grow to love each other. That happens in arranged marriages all the time. There are cultures where people have arranged marriages and the arrangements work out and they grow to love each other. They get to know each other and they grow to love each other. You're seeing it on these shows that they have now on Lifetime with Married at First Sight. It's basically an arranged marriage. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I do believe that they have grown to really care about each other and love each other, but I don't believe that this is just a marriage born out of love and affection. I believe that it was a silent agreement. And here's why I think this. I think it because of what they have shown. I think it because of what they have displayed to the general public who's watching this show. And when they opened the restaurant, there were some tensions and some problems that were going on with the marriage, and they were arguing about the restaurant, and he was saying he wanted to close it, and she basically told him, if you close this restaurant, then I'm ending this marriage. Really? So, it sounds like a business arrangement. Okay. I also say this because in this most recent season and the previous season, she talked about the prenuptial agreement. There were some discussions about them being separated before, and I guess them trying to work it out. And then she also made the mention of how there will definitely be a baby at some point. We already know the MO with a lot of these marriages. When they are a much older man that has the money and a much younger woman who stands to benefit from a relationship such as this. A prenuptial agreement is only fair because marriage is a business. That's why there is a license for it. It's a business. She found out this information about him being in a hotel with another woman. They've already had this baby now. And I believe now she's pregnant with baby number 2. Now, this didn't happen during the filming of the previous season. It's just airing now. But in present day, she's married. I mean, she's having another baby. She's pregnant with baby number 2. But during this filming, when she confronted him about this situation, they were just sitting there, just having a regular conversation. There was no arguing. There was, no crying, no tears flowing. I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. How could you do this to me? I mean, she was just sitting there just having a regular conversation with him. And then she basically says, well, I want to know how you feel about having a post-nuptial agreement. So in the event something like this happens again, then I can feel confident that I'm going to be okay. So the statements that they've been making and the things that they've been doing and the way they've been interacting with each other, it just really makes me feel like this is not an open relationship. It's just a silent agreement that, yeah, we're married. I'm going to be your wife. You really take care of me. And I'm on this show, and yeah, I'm making some money on this show, but you've helped me to become a part of the show. And you clearly have a hankering for some things that I can't really supply to you as your wife. So you can dilly-dally and do those things that you really feel like doing when I'm not around, when I'm not looking, as long as you don't embarrass me and other people don't find out about it. So I really believe that the conversations about the post-nuptial agreement and just getting this done in the event something like this happens again, it's about her image. It's not so much about the heart being broken and the betrayal and you were with somebody else. I'm your wife. You're my husband. Like, who does that in a marriage? So do they really have an open marriage or a silent agreement? I believe they have a silent agreement. I don't believe that they have an open marriage. I just don't. I believe Ashley is securing her place. She had baby number 1. Now she's pregnant with baby number 2. And that baby, the first one she had, looks just like her husband. And I was going to do a separate conversation talking about this, but I'm just going to mention it right now. In the previous season, she wanted to try to connect with her father. She never met her father before. That didn't work out. We never got to see what her father looked like. But when I tell you that I feel that her husband probably resembles her father, and not just in features and in looks, but definitely in the persona and the mannerisms and the character, because unfortunately women tend to be subconsciously drawn to people who are like their fathers, whether for good or for bad. And you kind of have to know so that you can not have that happen, so that you don't repeat those cycles and have these generational curses follow you in your life. But I believe that she wound up with somebody who's just like her father, even though she doesn't even really know her father. But that's just my opinion. I don't really know, but I do believe that to be true. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Ashley has an open marriage or a silent agreement with her husband, Michael? You leave your comments in the comment section, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.